y'all, Bridget Bartlett here. I am the local business marketing, training, and support specialist with Builderall. So today I am going to answer a question that I get all the time. And people ask me, how do you live stream? How do you, have the video playing? How do you do all of that stuff? So I am actually going to, now this is not going to be an in-depth tutorial because each of these tools could be probably a whole course all on its own. But there are plenty of YouTube videos. I'm not just going to talk to you about the Builderall webinar app, even though I am going to show you how to use that. I'm actually going to talk to you about a couple other softwares that I use to stream live. So right now I'm actually using OBS. Okay, so OBS is a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to start out with the beginner friendly, which is the Builderall webinar tool. Okay, so I'm actually just going to dive in here. I'm going to walk you through all of the steps. I hope that, first of all, my new presentation video helped you kind of figure out where all of the new resources are. We're constantly evolving and changing in Builderall, so definitely want to be as transparent as possible as we move our training to the e-learning, which is super cool that we can use the Builderall webinar app to install inside of our own e-learning. So if you click the link in the description of this video, if you're not on the broadcast page, you can actually join the e-learning, and I'll be able to ask your questions, and you can see all of the resources that I have available for you. So it looks like we have Jim in here. Jim says hello, good Monday to all. Hey Jim. Alvin's here. Hi, Alvin. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive in so that I can show you all of my tips and tricks. Now, when I show you guys this, honestly, this took me probably 2 years to figure out how to get all of these pieces, like what equipment do I need? How do I get this all set up? I mean, this is 2 years of knowledge that I'm going to share with you. So hopefully you can fast track that, that learning curve there. So Jim says, is OBS like Restream? There are two different things, and I'm going to show them both to you today. So Restream, OBS is basically like a management system for your streaming and all of that. It's very robust. It's also free. I can't believe that it's free, but it is actually free. And then Restream is actually, you can stream from Restream, and I'll give you an overview of all of that stuff. But Restream I mainly use to create events in YouTube or Facebook and all that, and then to be able to share and stream live to multiple platforms. So with Restream, you could stream live up to, I think, like 30 plus platforms at one time. So that's why I use Restream, and OBS gives me the option of having, the video playing before, plus the quality of the video. I mean, the sky's the limit with OBS. So those are all things that that you should consider. We all have different reasons for going live or whatever our purpose is. So that's why I wanted to do this kind of overview of live streaming to help you guys, and hopefully you're kind of seeing how you want to use it and apply what I'm showing you to your own business. By all means, you don't need a setup like this, but I think it's really valuable to see what the options are, and then I want you to decide whatever you want to do, whatever your learning curve is, whatever your budget is, and so on. So Alvin's, well, let's see, Dusty says, good morning from North Idaho. Oh my gosh, it must be cold. I'm freezing too, but we've actually had some like 50-degree days, so I'm super excited about that. Alvin said, excited to learn. I'm using OBS Studio Lab. I like it. OBS is great. It is very powerful, but there is a huge learning curve because it's so powerful. I mean, it's really what professionals use. So anyway, enough talking. Let's actually dive in. And as I'm doing this training, I want to know in the comments, I want to know, do you want me to go more in depth on one of these tools? let me know like what content are you wanting, because like I said, I'm going to walk you through the whole process today. But if you want me to go more in depth on a particular tool or topic, please let me know in the comments, because you guys, you really control what I teach. Okay, so if you show me, if you comment and say, hey, I really want to know something, then I'm going to do a training on it. For example, the reason I'm doing this today is a lot of people asked about the live streaming. How do I live stream? And I was going to teach about the webinar tool today, but Tyree Thomas, if you know him, he's one of the leaders in the Builderall community, and he was asking, how do you do the restream and all of that stuff? So Tyree, that part of the training is just for you. So, okay, again, enough talking. Let's dive into the training. So let me move this out of the way, because the first and most simple thing that I'm going to share with you is the Builderall webinar app. Okay, so to access the webinar app, you just need to go to the main menu and go to Webinar Builder. Okay, so I've already done this. This is my training account, so I don't have any of my active things here. Now, again, I'm not going to go through the big in-depth tutorial, but just to give you an overview, you can actually, if you highlight over this, you can access your ghost users. Now, ghost users are super cool, because basically you can create users inside of your webinar. So like you guys are commenting now, I could actually create ghost users that will comment as well to, make it a little more social proof, or I could even guide the content of my training. So let's say that, it's 2:06 now. So let's say at, 10 minutes into my training, I wanted someone named Susie Carpenter to ask me, hey, how do I sign up for Builderall? And then I would, in my webinar, I would say, hey, Susie Carpenter, that's a great question. Let me show you how you sign up for Builderall. So you guys get the point, right? Here you can actually, since all of our tools integrate with one another, which is the beautiful, absolute beautiful thing about Builderall, talk about fast tracking the learning process. Our autoresponder integrates with Mailing Boss, and so does our text messaging system. So you can actually create sequences of text messages to send out to people when they sign up for your webinar. We also have the video manager that integrates here, and you can also record your videos and access them here. So when you're looking for a streaming software, make sure that it records, because you're definitely going to want to keep those. Also, if it records, you'll get a better quality than just trying to download it from YouTube after you've streamed. Okay, so now let's go ahead and click here and then get started with creating our webinar. So you have three options here. You can only stream if you want to stream to YouTube or Facebook. You can also stream with a login and a live chat. So like basically what you guys are viewing on my broadcast page, that would be the live on-demand room with chat and login. Okay. And then Evergreen is basically a scheduled webinar that we're just going to play a video, and then it will continue playing at certain intervals that we set it at. Now, those things are a little bit more advanced, and I know that most of you guys just want to stream to Facebook. Okay. So that's really what I'm going to focus on today, because like I said, lots of different ways that you can use these different things here. So definitely check out the knowledge base. You can actually access that at the top above this video in the menu and look for webinar trainings. Okay, so let's say that today what we're going to do is use our webinar tool to stream live to YouTube, Facebook, or another location. You get up to 3. Okay. So you can actually go to the webinar room to live stream, or you can even choose a pre-recorded file. Okay, so if you have a video that you want to use, you can actually upload the video here, or you can choose from any of the videos in your Builderall video hosting manager. Okay, so you see I only have one video there because like I said, this is my training account, so I could choose a video there, or I could upload a brand new video. But let's say we want to live stream. Okay, so what we're going to do is choose webinar room. Now you can choose the country that you want to stream from. You can also choose if you want to invite other participants to the room. You can also, kind of like you do a Zoom room, you can also hold participants when they come in. Now, this is a brand new feature that I am seriously considering using for my own business, because a lot of times people don't really show up for appointments. And Keck had an amazing idea of using this as kind of like business hours. Like if I told the people in my team, if I said, hey, my business hours for consultations are between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m., then I could just continue. I could create this webinar every day at that time, and then I could just sit here and continue to work. And then as they pop in, they'll be on hold if I'm talking to someone else, or I can invite them in. So again, that's a super, super cool thing, and I have not yet started using that, but I seriously, I can just think of 100 uses for that. And you can also toggle this switch on here if you want to allow to record. Okay, so I always recommend recording. And like I said, once you've recorded, you'll be able to grab your video here in the webinar recordings. Okay, so now that we're going to live stream, we need to tell the webinar app, where do we want to live stream to? Okay, now just for full transparency for your knowledge, right now you can only get up to 30 people in the webinar, which, a lot of you guys are like, oh my gosh, that's plenty. But sometimes, big marketers, they want many people in the webinar room. So I think Eric said for Builderall 5.0 launch this summer, you'll be able to add up to 500 people in your room. So that far exceeds even Zoom, okay, like the paid Zoom account. So super cool. So let's go ahead. Oops. Let me go back because now we need to choose our broadcast target. Okay, so here is where people get confused. Okay, so you can enter the RTMP URL and the key. Now, you don't really have to know what that means. I don't know what that means, but every streaming device that you want to integrate with this, including Restream, you will need to know the RTMP URL and key. Okay, so I'll talk about that in just a second. So you can either find that on Facebook or YouTube. If you ever try to go live on YouTube, it will say that you need an additional streaming device. So you could use this webinar for that. Okay, now to connect to this, I don't want to connect to this because I already have another account connected, and I don't want to mess with that. But literally, you just click here, and then you'll log into your account and say that we can have access, or the tool can have access, and then you'll be able to choose that as your channel. Same as Facebook, you'll be able to choose whether it's a profile or whatever, or you can manually choose that here. So getting into that, I want to show you how you can, first of all, let me just show you Restream, okay? So Restream, because I want to show you how you can integrate Restream. So this is Restream here. Let me just go to my dashboard. Now Restream, it's basically the same process here. It allows you to, so you see now I'm streaming because I actually have an event created. Okay, so it's showing my live stream. You connect all of your social media here, and to create an event, you can go to here to the events. You go to schedule event. You can choose a recorded live stream or a recorded, you can choose a live stream or recorded video. So you see that it says here it even integrates with the OBS, Zoom, and so on. So let's go ahead and we'll just say live stream, and then you enter your information. We'll just say test. And you can enter some description here. And if you wanted to upload an image, you could choose that. So my standard image is this one here. So I'll just add that and crop it. And you click next. Oh, actually, you want to put in your time and all of that. And then it's basically you want to tell it, where do you want this event to go live? Okay. So this is where you can toggle these on or off. Okay, you obviously want to set the time, and then you're going to click create event. Now when you create the event, here's what it's going to look like. Okay, so what it does is it actually takes that information you just entered and then it posts in the Facebook group. So let me actually go to our business Facebook group, and you'll see here, this was my event, okay? And then when you start going live, it actually turns it into the actual live stream. But the cool thing is that people can actually set reminders. So it looks just like this on all of the places that I have sent it to. Okay, so all of these places it created an event for. So events definitely are basically more noticeable or more findable. People are interested in events because to them that says live. Okay, so what you can do now, you just need the RTMP settings. Okay, now if I open this up, it's going to give me a URL and it's going to say streaming URL and the key. The only reason that I can't do that is because it will actually show my streaming key. And if I show you that, then really anyone on the internet could come and break into my stream and basically override me. So that key is really, it's private, okay? But you could also stream directly from Restream. So you technically don't need to have the webinar tool, okay? But here is where you would put, if you wanted to integrate with Restream and you just wanted to keep it as a standard integration, see the RTMP settings are going to be just for this event, okay? But if you want to integrate it, let me see if I go back here. If you want to integrate this with your Builderall webinar app and then you just don't want to worry about it anymore, you could actually go back to the dashboard and then you could get those settings here. Okay, so I'm sorry that I can't show you the settings, but it's very simple. It's literally copying and pasting. Okay, so I'm live inside of Restream, and that's why it's streaming everywhere. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and actually let's just say I'm not going to choose a location because I like I said, I don't really want to add all that to this. So I'm going to click next, and then I'm going to click open webinar room. Okay, so you just enter your name like you do any other time, and you want to give access to your microphone and your camera. But of course, I'm using my camera right now, so it won't come up. But basically, oh, there we go. Let me say allow. Let's see what it does. Okay, so it's not going to show, or it does. Hey, look at that. But here is where you would broadcast. So as soon as you click broadcast or record, you're going to start going live. Okay, so if you're integrated with Restream, when you click start broadcast record, it's going to go to all of the places that you have told Restream to go to. All right, simply by taking these settings and then entering them in your destination. Because what you're trying to tell the webinar tool is, hey, I want to use this tool, but I want it to stream to these other places. Like I want to take this stream that I'm creating through the Builderall webinar tool, and I want it to stream to Restream. Because then when you stream it to Restream, then you've already told Restream what to do with it. Okay, so I know that's so confusing. I really hope that that makes sense. Okay, literally just copying and pasting those settings. You also have a chat available here, just like you do in Zoom. You can click here to get the link and invite people to your live stream. Here's where you can actually choose the camera or the microphone you want to use. You also have some really cool settings here. So you can actually enable this and then type in, like, let's say I wanted to type in my website, or I wanted to type in like Builderall's website. I could do that. I could change the fonts and the colors and all of that. And then it shows up here. Okay, so super cool options to stream there. So you don't need to have webinar or the OBS. You don't need to have Restream. You don't need any of that. You have everything that you really need to live stream right here in the webinar tool. Okay, but let me close out of this, because sometimes, just like I'm doing, you want to actually stream into a web page. Okay, so here is how I have this set up. So if I click go live stream on demand and I click next, I'm going to give this a name. So we're just going to call this test and go next and create webinar. Okay, so now here's the back end of what you guys are looking at and on the webinar page. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a code basically that I'm going to drag on a Cheetah website page. I'm going to drag that element that says webinar or the iframe, and I'm just going to paste the code that I get here after I've created this. Okay, so you can enter your password. You can, here's where you have the settings. So if you want to use a YouTube video or an iframe, uploaded video, or the Builderall video manager or YouTube Live, you have those options. So here's what I do. Okay, now again, I don't want to take you through all of these things, but just so you know, lots of training on this. So here's what I do. I actually create a live event. Okay, so let me go back here. So once I've created my event, okay, right now I am live. All right, this is my event. But when I create that, it actually creates on YouTube. Let me go to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to go here to my channel. I'm going to go to, so now you see live streaming. So this is my actual live stream right now. So this is where you find it on YouTube, right? All I need to do is to take this. I can click here. And let me pause this so it doesn't start playing. Okay, it's muted, so that's good. So what I want to do, since this is the stream, now you can do this. The beauty of having Restream is that you can actually create that event through YouTube, and then you can get the link for that live stream, okay? Because it's not going to be the same link every time. This is one of the things that I love about Restream is that, it allows you to create that, and then you get the YouTube link, like I could do this today for our stream tomorrow, and then go ahead and grab this link. Now, when I do that, what I want to do is actually paste it here. So once you create this webinar, you embed it onto your Cheetah page, then every single day, all you have to do to swap out that video is just paste the new YouTube link. Okay, so I could just paste that there. Now, every single time I go live, it'll be a new video on my webinar page. Okay, so I don't swipe out the the e-learning and all that stuff. All I do is literally paste the new link for the new event, and that's how you set that to the page. All right, now let's see. Alvin says Restream is a paid service. Restream is a paid service. They have different plans. Let me see here. Restream. And it's logging me in. Let me do an incognito window. So it has different plans depending on, I don't want to log in. I just want to see the website. Pricing. Okay. So they have different plans depending on your purpose. And I guess it's cheaper if you do the monthly or the yearly, of course. So really it's not that expensive. But see, this one only goes to 1 extra, and I actually have this one. The cool thing about this, and you guys, every Black Friday, definitely search out all the softwares that you use and see if you can find a better deal, because last Black Friday, I have this plan I pay monthly for, and I actually got it for 50% off. So for my Restream, I only pay $25 a month for life. So that's really super cool. Something else that you can do though, is you could actually, I'm going to give you I'll paste my referral link here in the chat. If you use my referral link or you share your referral with someone else, you'll get a $10 credit. So you'll have to sign up for Restream at the regular price, but then the next month you get $10 off, and then I get $10 off. And actually, when I was preparing for this training, I looked up here and I was like, oh my gosh, I have like $91 that's just sitting there ready for me to pay out. So that's super cool. I didn't even know that I had that. So referrals, just another way of you can say, hey, I'll save you $10. It's like, duh, why wouldn't you save someone $10? Okay, so that's Restream. All right, now let's talk about OBS. All right, so actually, before we even talk about OBS, let's talk about Zoom. All right, so how do you use Restream with Zoom? If you like Zoom and it's just maybe it's something your company uses or whatever, or you have a large meeting where you have a lot of people attending and you can't use the Builderall webinar tool, you can actually use Zoom. Just create your normal meetings like you normally would. And you do have to have at least the paid account. That's like the $14.99 a month. And you just come down here to your live stream. And so you'll see my key is not showing. And all you have to do is just paste in, you'll click edit, and then you'll paste in the Restream URL and the key here, and then the page that you want to live stream to. Okay, so that's how you can set that up. Now, you can do that just one time. That's what I was saying. You can integrate that one time with Restream, but if you're creating events, it's going to be a different key or a different secret every single time. So you will have to swap that out. Again, just depends on however you want to use it. You could technically come right to Restream. You could go to live. Let me get back here. It's being weird because I am live. You could go to the live studio and just use their features. So really, you don't need anything else besides Restream. But again, I use OBS because I just love the options better. I think it's more user-friendly for me to use OBS. So I'm going to actually show you that here. This is my OBS right now. This is what I am using to stream from. So the thing that I love about OBS, first of all, it's free and super powerful. It records. You get an excellent quality of video. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. And the thing that I love about it is that you can actually choose your intro video. So I have my intro video, and it basically you do it. You set it up basically in scenes, okay? So this is going to be a scene, and this is going to be the sources within that scene, all right? So hopefully, again, that makes sense. So my first scene that I have here is just my intro video, all right? So I have that by itself, and every time I go live, I love to have an intro video because it serves a couple purposes. One, it gives people a chance to see that I'm on live and to see. Let me just stop sharing there. So people can see that I'm live. They can have the opportunity to get in, get logged in, get whatever. But it also gives me the opportunity to share information like, hey, we just revised our whole training thing. Let me give you a tour. So lots of cool ways that you can integrate that. Now, going back here, that was my Sony camera, right? So this scene that I have is called screen share only. So the only thing available in this scene is just my screen share. But I could actually add different things to the scene. Like I could add a graphic, or I could add another video or something like that. And then it would actually display here. So if I wanted to have, maybe an image of a banner up here, I could place all that. If I wanted to have my camera in the corner, I could do all of those things. And then once my training is over, I have an outro video that I always play to remind people, hey, if you want to get text, notifications, da-da-da-da-da. All right. So that's how I have all of this set up using OBS and Restream and the webinar app. Okay. So you guys let me know, is that super, super confusing? I know that it's a lot. But again, let me move this stuff around. Again, I just want to make sure that you guys know, really, you have everything that you need just in the webinar tool. You don't have to create this. You don't have to have a full-blown page or anything like that. You could just invite people to your stream if you want to, and then, stream live on YouTube and Facebook and wherever you want to stream to. So you guys let me know if you want to have a more in-depth training on these things. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask. And that's all I have for you today. So I hope that you learned something. I hope I didn't confuse you too much. I know there's lots of different softwares and lots of things to learn. But like I said, if you're brand new to this and you just don't know what to do, just go to the webinar app, just like connect it to your Facebook and YouTube, and just start going live to those places. Just start, pop up, do like a quick training, even if it doesn't have anything to do with Builderall. Maybe it has to do with using Canva to create a graphic, or maybe it's how to use the Builderall webinar tool to go live. It's like if you just learned it, then show other people. That's the cool part about what we do, is that we get to learn things and then share with other people and actually earn an income. That's amazing. So anyway, like I said, that's all I have for you today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you want me to do another training and go more in depth about something. And then I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Go build it with Builderall. Thank you so much for joining me for today's live training. Don't forget to text the word live to 1317-623-4596 so you never miss a training, and click the link above or below this video to join the Builderall